forget where you're coming from. King Shango set the trend. Yo, I want them. Mama telling you this. Hey, drop. Wanna better have some respect and manners. See the Asian them and give them honors.
Respect and manners.
Yes,
Nothing wrong with
they
that.
always say, too little simple thing can carry you through the world. Respect and manners, that's all I'm asking from you. Respect and manners, then love will come to you. Respect and manners, that's all I'm asking from you. Respect and manners.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel, That Miss TV. If it's your first time here, thank you for joining me, and if you are a regular subscriber and viewer, thank you for coming back. Now I wanted to share an experience that happened to me recently in the bank in Jamaica. Now by the title you can pretty much tell what happened, right? Yes, so my money went into somebody else's account, and yeah. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go through it and explain what happened. I just want to do this just to remind people that when you're doing banking business in Jamaica, or I guess anywhere really, but as my story pertains to Jamaica, that's what I'm going to focus it on. When you're doing banking out here, check and check again, okay? Check and check again, and you're going to understand why I say that as I get into the story and what happened. So a few weeks ago, I went into my bank, the bank that I bank with in Jamaica, and to deposit some cash into my account. Now there are three ways in which you can deposit money or cash into your account at this particular bank that I bank with, right? So the first way is to go in and see a teller or a cashier, give them the cash and your account number, and they will deposit the cash for you. When you do it that way, the money goes into your account immediately, okay? So it's available immediately. If you know anything about Jamaican banks, which I'm sure many of you do, that takes a long time. So see a customer services representative or a bank teller or cashier takes a long time. And at my bank, you have to take a number, sit down, wait for your number to be called, and that can take a while, right? The second way of doing it is by doing it through the ATM. And I'm sure many of you know, I'm sure they do this in lots of other countries. You go to the ATM, put your cash in, put your card and put your cash in, and it deposits the cash directly into your account, okay? That's the second way. The third way of depositing cash into an account at the bank that I bank with in Jamaica is to use a Dropbox. So you get an envelope, you fill it out, put your name, account number, all that good stuff, put the amount you want to deposit, seal it in the envelope and put it in the Dropbox. It doesn't get credited to your account straight away, but by about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon on that same day, the funds will show up in your account. Now what I've been doing is just using the Dropbox, right? So I go in the morning, put my cash in the envelope, put it in the Dropbox, and I know by 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon I'm going to see that money in my account. And that's what I've been doing, right? And I've been doing it that way opposed to lining up and going to the teller, because the teller just takes too long. It takes too long to sit down all day. I don't have that time. I'm impatient. I don't want to sit down for an hour or two to deposit funds in my account, right? And the other way of doing it through the ATM, I used to do it this way. I used to do it this way all the time, and I used to like this way because it meant that I could go to any ATM, my bank's ATM, any time of night, and deposit the money, and that was convenient. However, with this new Jamaican money, is it polymer or whatever it's called, it's become a lot more difficult. So what used to happen is I'll go into the ATM, I'll go inside the bank's ATM, use the machine, put my cash in to deposit the funds into my account, and then the money was, guys, this even happened to me today, put the money in and it spits the money back out, or it doesn't take all the notes, and you could be there for ages trying to re-enter this money into the ATM machine, and it just keeps spitting money back at you. And when you speak to the customer services people or the receptionist at the bank, they just say, oh, you have to go to one of the cashiers and change the money. Like, I don't have that time. I just know where to put my cash in, fine. And that's why I was using the Dropbox. Anyway, so a couple of weeks ago I went to go and use a Dropbox, as I usually do, And I was informed that the bank no longer is using Dropbox. That's not a feature that they will be doing anymore. So that's a no-no. So I was like, okay then. So the lady said to me, the reception said to me, you can use the ATM and put your funds in. So I said to her, listen, every time I come and I try to put my cash into the ATM machine, it doesn't take it and it spits it out. And I know, like, this happens to everybody else as well, because I've seen it happen so many times. So she said to me, she said, well, you can try. I said, I know exactly what's going to happen. It's not going to take the money, and then you're going to send me to go see a cashier to change the notes, to see if I can get some other notes that's not going to spit it out. So I said, you know what? I'll take a ticket. I had time. I'll take a ticket. I'll sit down and I'll wait, right? So I took my ticket to go see the teller, to make them deposit directly. So I took a ticket. I sat there for about an hour before my ticket number was called. Cool, now I know it's going to take a long time, right? But I'm not going to use ATM, and I just, went with the flow. About an hour later, my number was called, and I went to the teller, this young man. Anyway, I gave him the cash. I gave him the cash, and I said to him, I want to deposit this money into my account. And I always have my account number written down either on a piece of paper or on my phone, so I took a screenshot of it. So I showed it to him. So he looked at it, and then he said to me, can you read the numbers to me? So I read the numbers slowly, read the number to him, my account number, and he entered it in. He said, and he didn't say, actually, I read it again just to make sure. So I read it again for a second time to make sure that he'd got it right. Good. So he does that. He takes the cash. He then says to me, can you confirm your name on the account? So I told him my full name, first and last name, that's on the account. And of course, at that point, that's his chance to do his checks, right? To make sure the name I've given him matches the name that's in front of him on the account, which corresponds with the account number. Good. Anyway, so he does that. He produces a little yellow receipt, and he asked me to sign. So I signed, and that was that. And he said, you're all done. So I went about my business. So usually what I would have done is come home, and I would have logged in on the online app, and I would have checked to see, just to make sure everything's fine and the money's in the account. But I didn't do that. I was busy doing other things, and I didn't get to check. So the next morning now, I thought, let me jump onto the app and just, check everything, make sure that the money was credited to my account. So when I log on to my banking app, I see that the funds have not been, they've not entered my account, and I'm like, so I started thinking now. I said, okay, so I went to the cashier. It's meant to go in straight away. It usually does go in straight away. So then then I get into panic mode, because I'm thinking, where's the money? Where's the money? So I scramble around in my bag to look for the receipt, which I had, thankfully. And when I look at the receipt, people, guys, I'm so sorry that the quality is different. If it looks different, it's because I'm using a completely different camera. My battery just died, all right? So I'm using a different device. So I apologize. But yeah, back into the story. So I realized that the name on the receipt is not my name. It's another lady's name. Doesn't sound like my name. Nothing at all, right? So I panic. And at this point now, it's like early afternoon, getting up into the early afternoon. Now, the banks out here in Jamaica close quite early. My bank closes at 2:30 in the afternoon. And I know that last entry into the bank is maybe an hour before. So I get up, I get ready, I get dressed really quickly, I jump in the car, and I speed. Yeah, I speed. But while I'm speeding, I'm praying, Lord, please keep me safe, please keep me safe, please get me to where I'm going safely. And I speed down to the bank. Now at the same time, I'm on the phone to Outlaw, and I'm saying, oh my gosh, the bank has not put the money in my account, they've put it in somebody else's account, and I'm panicking. So I get down to the bank, I go to the customer service desk or the reception desk, and I explain what happened. I said, listen, I got here yesterday, I put my money in my account via the teller, and it's not in my account. Anyway, same time, there was a lady standing there. So she started going off on one. I mean, it's not even her problem, right? And she starts having a go at the people in the bank, saying, listen, make sure, say you don't do the same thing to me that you did to her, because I've had problems with this bank already. Make sure you're not putting my money in somebody else's account. I was like, oh my gosh, what have I started? Anyway, the receptionist lady says to me, or the customer service agent says to me, okay, obviously give me your name and everything and your details, and I'm gonna pass it on to somebody. So she's like, you can take a seat. But at that point, I didn't want to take a seat because I'm anxious. I'm worried about what's happening. I don't really, at this point, I don't have much faith in the banking system. What's going to happen? Like, in my mind, I had already kind of perceived that this is not going to go well. Like, this ain't going to go well. Like, it's not going to go well. This is Jamaica. It's not going to go well. Sorry to say, right? So I kind of had a preconceived idea of what I thought was going to happen. So anyway, I didn't take a seat because I'm anxious. I stand right next to the customer service desk. Yeah, right next to the agent. And I'm standing there. And I'm standing there for about 20 minutes. And I don't hear anything. Nobody don't come to me. Nobody said anything to me. So I said to her, Miss, what's happening? Nobody doesn't come to speak to me, anything. She says to me, ma'am, like she would say, Miss, take a seat. But in the meantime, she gives me a piece of A4 paper with a clipboard and a pen. And she says, this is what she says to me. Jamaica is not a real place. She says to me, please write a letter to the bank manager of this branch. So the receptionist says to me, write a letter to the bank manager of this branch, explaining everything that happens. So like I said, she gives me a piece of A4 paper, white paper, clipboard and a pen, and she says, please take a seat. At this point, I can feel my blood starting to get warm. Do you know, it's not hot yet. I'm not raging yet, but inside I can feel the bubbling. You know, the little bubbling starting. Now listen, people, I'm a very decent person, or decent person. I don't carry on loud and, I don't rail up and carry on. But when she said write a letter, I started to think, why do I need to write a letter for? I've come in and I've explained it to you. Like, let's just get somebody to sort this out. Why do I need to write a letter? At that point, I said to myself, you know what, Deezer? If you have to carry on bad in the people in place, I'm going to carry on bad. Like, I said to myself, like, if I have to get loud and boisterous, let me tell you something. It's a good thing that Outlaw was not there with me, because I am the quiet one when it comes to these things. He's usually the one who will go on bad and carry on loud in the people in place until they sort it out. That's not usually me, but at this point I was prepared to flip the switch and to carry on bad and get loud and boisterous in the people in place, because why do I have to write a letter anyway? But you know what, I sat down, I wrote this letter, and I kid you not, within 2 minutes I had written 2 pages, both sides of used up 2 sides of the sheet, explained exactly what happened, and I also said that this has to be rectified immediately, right? Gave the lady the letter. So I think I waited for about another 30 minutes. My foot is tapping, when the tapping starts. And then my name gets called, right? So I get called to one of the cashiers. So she says to me, just like to let you know that the money has been reinstated, has been put into your account. Here is the receipt. You can see, here's your name. Here is the your account number, and it's in there straight away. People, when I tell you, like, I was so shocked. I was shocked, but I was relieved. And you know what? I just turned to the lady and I said, you know what? I appreciate you. I said, thank you so much. I really appreciate what you've done for me. Thank you so much. I mean, she was so apologetic about the mistake that happened. And what we realized, what happened is that there was 1 digit difference in between my account and the account that the money went into. So all of the digits of the account, all of the numbers were the same apart from the very last digit, and I think that's where the teller probably made a mistake. And I do believe on this occasion it was just an innocent mistake. But I want to just say big up to that bank, because I the fact that they were able to just put the money back in straight away, and I think it's because I paid in cash. I think maybe had it been an online transfer, it may have been a little bit different, but they handled it well. When I got home and I checked my app, the money was there straight away. So big up to them for getting it sorted straight away. And I just wanted to show as well that, like, we do have our ideas of how things work in Jamaica, because so many of us have been through things, locals and people from the diaspora that come here trying to do banking or business, and most of the time, 90% of the time, it's never really a good a good ending, or there's frustrations. And as much as I was frustrated, it just goes to show that things can happen and things can be done with a good result, you know. So mistakes can happen, and some institutions can get it right. And on this occasion, big up to the bank because they got it right. But I just wanted to share that. This meaning, guys, when you are doing any kind of business, banking or whatever, check all your receipts. Check your receipts. When you go to the supermarket, when you go to the shop and you pay by your card, especially when you pay by your card, check your receipt to check that the amount taken out of your card matches the amount of items for your goods, because there are scams going around where people are, you know, your items might cost, I don't know, $1,000, and you know, so oftentimes we just tap our card and we just chip and pin it. We don't really check the amount, and sometimes the companies or the cashiers are taking more than that and then pocketing the rest for themselves. So just be aware. I should have been aware that I should have, before signing that little slip, because you know they give you the slip and you just sign it, you don't even look at it. I should have been aware, and I should have checked it. I should have checked the account number. I should have checked the and probably that sounds long, it sounds, you know, a bit time consuming, but if I had done that, I wouldn't have to go back to the bank. So big up to the bank. Yeah, just a quick story time. Check your paperwork, people. Anyway, guys, I hope this has been useful to somebody. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Please watch the ads. That helps us tremendously. Even if it's just 30 seconds, that helps us. And until the next time, let me say